Alrighty, what is up, Hustle family? So today we're going to actually be watching this video together. You and I are going to watch this video together from an Ask Gary V session. Now, I'm sure you already know who Gary V is, but right now he's one of the utmost authorities when it comes to NFT art, and he makes some really good points in this video that if you haven't seen before, whether you are an NFT collector or someone who's trying to create an NFT collection, I feel that you really need to see these extremely valuable points that he makes in this video. And as he goes, we're going to be discussing and I'm going to be elaborating on some of the things he's saying that I've seen in my time in the NFT world, and hopefully all of this will come together as one nice little piece to help you further your NFT ventures. So the link to this video, if you want to watch it or save it for later, is going to be down in the description. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, either if you are a beginner in the NFT world or someone that's interested in NFTs, or just someone that likes the discussion around new art and the NFT space in and of itself. So let's get this started. At any point, if you want to comment on something he says in this video, leave it down in the comments below. Let's have a discussion. Let's talk about what Gary has to say in this video.
There's two different aspects to this. There's the collectible sort of piece of this where it's feeding your inner 12-year-old when you were shilling cards at the market. Correct. All that kind of stuff. And then there's the businessman who's looking at, and the investor who's looking at the companies in and of themselves.
And then there's also Gary Vaynerchuk, the human being. Let me explain.
Yes, absolutely.
This piece of art is from Lise Bartlett. She worked for me at Vayner. I like her. Her husband worked with me at Resi. She's making a big risk and going on her own. This is expensive by my art standards. I bought it because I love her.
Yeah.
I'm excited because I'm meeting a lot of artists on Twitter and Discords. I'm excited to be the humanitarian. That's how I see it. Or the kind person. Like, I'm excited to buy art based on I like you, the human. My natural instincts around art go much more into like what I'm doodling, which is I care about the Smurfs and Punky Brewster and Max Headroom and RoboCop and TMT. Like, I like those things more than like a beautiful, and
70s or 80s pop culture.
I'm a pop culture guy.
Yeah.
And so I want to do that, which is different than seeing some beautiful sketch or like paint.
Okay, so I think that's really important right there, and I think that message in and of itself kind of gets lost, but a lot of people buy into it because of something other than the actual NFT itself, other than the actual art. Like, yes, the NFT may be amazing, may have a great roadmap, great utility, it may have amazing artistic value in and of itself, but a lot of collectors right now are buying because of what is behind it or who is behind it. Like he said, this is an expensive piece of art by my standards, but the person who created it, I want to support them. I want to own something that they did. And you may be saying, hey, I don't have a huge presence on social media. When we did the Hustle Millennial Sandbox drop, a lot of those people bought those NFTs because they were buying something that I had created and my community, and they wanted that. Now, a key word there is community. If you don't have a massive social media presence, if you aren't a big name on Instagram or Twitter or YouTube, it does not matter, because the same value that Gary is talking about here, where you place value in an individual or in a company, and that is why you acquire one of their NFTs, that same value can go behind a community. A lot of these projects, people aren't buying NFTs, they're buying membership in a community. And I just want you to think, if you've ever gone into an NFT Discord community or a Discord group about an NFT project, and that sense of community and that sense of belonging that you may have found, and it may be a one-off, maybe 1 in 15 or 20 of these communities actually give you that feeling of home or feeling of nostalgia or feeling of belonging, just that overall good feeling that you get from a solid community. A lot of people are buying membership into that community, and we can see that majorly with the Bored Ape Yacht Club and Gary Vee's V friends. I mean, people are buying a piece of the OpenSea community in which they now belong to, owning that OpenSea NFT. People are buying something directly that GaryVee has branded as his own. And that's something you have to think about, because even if you aren't a big social media presence, anybody, and I mean anybody, can build a solid NFT community on Discord and on Twitter without having any notoriety prior to that. So building a sense of community is building a sense of value and will bring in new investors. Let's keep watching. Let me know what you think about that down in the comments, though.
Paint. I don't like Jackson Pollock.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Everybody has their own artistic interests.
And I remind a lot of people who are listening, people are like trying to force people to like a certain thing. It makes me laugh. Like, why?
I think of myself as a coach and a teacher. I invite a lot of artists that are new to the space, come in, talk to me, DM me. Let's talk about this space. They're in here for a month and they're like, Eric, I'm not getting any sales. And I'm like, first, let's think about, what are you doing? Well, I'm just posting links on Twitter. I'm like, you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough. Yeah.
That's like waking up in the morning.
It's
if you're an artist
100%.
posting a link of your art to an OpenSea account or whatever, that is literally like saying, I've woken up this morning. Cool. Now what?
100%. Yeah.
My big thing is it's community building.
Yeah. I talk about connection a lot. Not communicating.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Same exact thing. And it's, who is your audience? Find 20 or 30 people that are going to talk to you, going to be with you and act and connect with you daily. That's all you need. 20 or 30 people.
Right. And how much do you care about them versus caring about you? Every artist I'm talking to is like, I want to sell this for $800. I'm like, what's in it for the other person?
Right.
And there's two ways. Again, it's art and commerce.
Yeah.
Is this something that you are going to, like, if you're doing this for collecting, flipping, again, and I went through this recently with sports cards over the last 4 years, nobody gets to decide what another human being, like, I love how people are like they're trying to be dictators and communists. I'm like, you're telling me I have to collect art for the sake of the art and never sell it? Who gave you that power? I have to tell you to look at this as an investment where you just like having a wallet to display. Who am I? Right. And by the way, I'm going to do both. But I'm going to do mine. It's why I brought up the Elise thing. I'm going to support artists that I have an actual connection to from a human standpoint.
Yes.
Not to their art, because I've never been affected by art that way, the art that I'm incredibly affected by is character creation. Like I bought Magic the Gathering cards when they first came out. I like that's what I
Were you into Pokemon too? Did you buy those cards?
I was a hair at that point. I'd really started my career, and I was like 100% trying to build my dad's liquor store. But my brother AJ is 11 years younger, and when he got like massive strep throat and like real sick, I went to the card store, my dad, and bought him a box of the original Pokemon.
Oh my God, yes.
We always talk about that. So, but yes, I understand Pokemon. I'm obsessed with WWFE. I understand.
Okay, so building on top of the community, like step one, get that community aspect out there, especially if you aren't someone that is really well known on social media. Like he said, I have a human connection to these people, and that's why I buy and collect their art. And that is the main reason why people will buy into NFTs. But the other side of that is the community. If you can create an extremely strong community around your NFT project, you don't need to be some big name person or big name artist on social media. The other thing, like he said, I bought into Magic the Gathering because I like character creation. So you have this community, but the community is going to come because of this story that your NFT project is telling them, or it is selling them. You are selling someone a story. We're going to be talking about this collection called Metal Lords next week, and they tell a story through their characters who evolve through this world and can acquire different armor and stuff. It's a new play to earn game coming out, so they have that value statement and that story and that kind of mission statement or purpose that they're giving to the collector of their NFT. So if you get anything from this video, I want it to be, number one, how do I make a community? Research that, look that up. How do I make a strong community around my NFT? And number two, what story or what purpose or what mission statement am I giving to the people on the outside? Because if you have a project that you are creating, you're going to be heavily invested emotionally, mentally, maybe even monetarily, you are going to already know everything that encompasses your NFT, like a puzzle. You're already going to see all of the different little pieces that make up this big picture, but people on the outside, of course, cannot be in your head. They do not know everything that you know, so you have to put out your value or your utility. You have to lay everything out for people on the outside. So those are the two things that I would love for you to take away from this video: community and story. And I think those two things will extremely help you, not only when you are creating an NFT collection and trying to market, promote, and sell it, but also when you are collecting. None of us want to buy a project that's going to die in a week. So when you are hunting those, what is the story and what is the community behind these projects? As always, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Never stop profiting and always keep hustling.